Hey guys, I'm back. I'm sorry if I sound quiet in this video. I really don't want my parents to overhear me because the walls are really thin at the new house. So today I'm going to be reading The Danish Slaughterhouse Chapter 2. So let's get on with it. Lucas sat up stiff against Matthias' chest, staring into space as he curled his fingers into Matthias' sweater. His own chest was sore from exhaustion as it heaved and deflated with every large amount of air he gulped. What was that? He thought anxiously. When his heartbeat had slowed back to its normal pace, Lucas noticed that the other Nordics were surrounding him and watching him with caution and confusion, waiting to make any movements in case another weird attack like that happened again and trying to figure out what was that attack to begin with. The waiting silence was uncomfortable. Norge, are you okay? Matthias asked the still man in his arms. Sighing a calm breath, Lucas tapped Matthias' shoulder and said in a dizzy tone, "Put me down." Are you sure that's a good idea, Norge? I don't think it's a good idea. I'm fine, Matthias. Now let me go so they can get my bag. All right, if you insist, Matthias shrugged. He let Lucas stand on his own feet, but kept hands protectively around him in case his legs were too weak to use. Lucas slapped his hands away. "Fine, Matthias, okay? Excuse me." He nudged Matthias out of the way and went to the doors to get his suitcase. He wheeled it inside and stopped as he felt his friend's continuous stare weigh down on him. "Guys, stop it. I was just cold, okay? So stop staring at me." "But what was that?" Tina wondered aloud for them all. "What you were saying about it being too dangerous and such." "Probably Norge's dumb fairy's messing with his mind again," Matthias laughed. He crossed his eyes, bared his teeth in a wide, goofy grin, and made circles around his temples as he chirped, "Cuckoo, cuckoo, cuckoo." Annoyed at the mockery, yet relieved that Matthias diffused the apprehension, Lucas reached up to one of Matthias' nipples and twisted it hard. Okay. Smirking inwardly as Matthias winced and yelped in pain. "It wasn't my fairies, idiot. I had them stay home to watch my house and plants." Then he sensed that the silence shifted to a different mood, one of the awkward type. Tino Burwald, Peter, and Emil were looking away, trying not to laugh or show embarrassment at Lucas's belief in magical creatures. Matthias was the only one chuckling. "So, Lucas, what kind of plants do your fairies watch?" Matthias snickered and made air quotes. "I have tulips and daffodils. You know that, Matthias. You saw them every time you visited me." "Are you sure those are the only plants you're growing and you use those plants to pretty up your house?" Hint, hint. Lucas squinted. I squinted. "Just what the hell are you doing now?" "Nothing. I'm just saying that you don't have to keep a secret from us." Wink, wink. "Matthias, you're really starting to piss me off more so than usual." He turned his glare to Emil, who was covering his mouth with his hands to stifle his giggles. Matthias feigned a gasp of shock. Lucas is getting mad at getting pissed at me. I guess it's time you called up your little fairy friends and made them deliver some of your plants here so you can melt. Oh, ow, 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 ow. Lucas twisted Matthias' nipples again, this time snapping it to be sure that it left a bruise. "Just hose around this damn place so we can unpack already," he ordered as a blush crept up to his cheeks. Matthias pouted as he rubbed his sore nipple. He then beamed and stepped back from the group further into the house. With a flourish of his arms, he announced proudly, "Welcome one and all to the beautiful, spacious, superb, and roomy." "Roomy and spacious are the same thing," Peter pointed out. "Shut it, kid, I'm talking," Matthias hissed. He ignored the little tongue sticking out at him and continued, "Welcome to Matthias Kohler's mansion of prestige excellence." "That sounds more like a school than a mansion," Burwald muttered. "Then what the hell would you call it?" "Matthias' mansion." Matthias rolled his eyes and groaned. "Ugh, you guys are no fun whatsoever." "Fine. Welcome to my mansion, ladies and gentlemen." He smiled again and clapped his hands. "Now if you guys would so kindly..." I can't word. would so kindly ask to collect your suitcase you left out there in the recent scare we had just experienced. He sneaked a quick glance at Lucas, who still caught him and glared back. So that we can get started with the tour, just in case any of you see a room that you want to call dibs on. He winked and turned away. Now follow me! Oh, this is exciting, Tino squealed as he made his way to the suitcases lying about on the pebbled stairs. Once everyone retrieved their bags, Matthias escorted his company throughout the mansion. He walked down the entrance hallway, its wall covered with large photos of Matthias sticking out his tongue or drinking a mug of beer. Lucas noticed into the white-walled living room. Here, as you see for yourself, is the living room. Over there is a flat-screen TV, the couch, and the computer. Around here you can see lovely vases Francis made for me to give this room some pizzazz. At the far corner, you'll see my magnificent collection of army knives in that glass shelf. If you break or ruin anything in here, brat, then I'll hold your parents responsible. Now, let us continue. The Nordics walked up the stairs, and Matthias opened the first door. Here we have the first bedroom with its maroon-colored walls, shag carpet, and a full-size bed, complete with a moon-patterned comforter and feather pillows for those with weak necks. There's a full-length mirror over there and a basketball hoop up there above the bed. Wow, this room's really cool, I'll call it, Emil exclaimed, gazing especially at the dreamcatcher light hanging from the ceiling. And we have our first taker. Now please leave your suitcase here to mark your territory, and we'll be moving on. Hey, no fair. You didn't give anyone a fair chance to claim it, you jerk, Peter whined. First of all, it's most fair because no one else spoke up, so I did, Emil stated. You had plenty of time, but you didn't use it, which brings me to my next point. Tough luck, kiddo. He flicked Peter's nose as he pulled his suitcase into the room and hoisted it onto the bed. Now, if any of you ever come by here and have the sudden to bathe or take a dump, then the bathroom is across the hall, Matthias informed them. And next to Emil's room, we have this bedroom right here. He opened the next bedroom's door, and Tino immediately gasped. I see we already have another claim, and a good coincidence too, because this one has a king-size vibrating mattress for nice relaxing massages or what have you. Matthias wiggled his eyebrows playfully. I wasn't thinking so much of that as much as I was thinking about the decor here, Tino stammered as he and Orwell took their suitcases into the bedroom. Like the four-screen paint with leaves designs on the walls, and is that a real tree over there? That's so magnificent. Oh, and this. He stroked the pine tree embroidery on the comforter and pulled the comforter back to see the white satin sheets. He stroked that as well, enjoying the silky material. I can't with this name, I'm sorry. Wrapped his arms around Tino's waist and nuzzled his nose into Tino's hair. But it's still good enough for some one-on-one playtime for us, right? Oh, Soofin, I'm not actually that big of a Soofin shipper. Please don't attack me. Burrell purred into the blonde softness, ignoring the gagging sounds Emil and Lucas were making at the doorway. Burrell, please, not in front of Peter. Tino tried to shove Burrell away, blushing heavily. I swear you're just as perverted as your brother. But Papa's right, isn't he, Mama? Peter asked as he ran up to the couple, his own suitcase in tow behind them. This room is so cool. It's so big and green and has a vibrating bed, which is so awesome. It's like the episode of The Simpsons where Lisa and Bart used the motel's vibrating beds to race across the room. We can do that, and we get to play together all we want. And, Peter? Matthias pulled Peter away from his parents and turned him to look at his face. Sorry to break it to you, Pete, but the kind of play your mom and pa want to do isn't exactly for the kiddies like yourself. So you're not going to be staying with them and cock-blocking their entire vacation. Matthias! Tino gasped. Well, don't look at me. He like that. Earl says it all the time. Earl, it isn't true. Earl refuted quickly. What's cock-blocking? Peter asked. You are too young, child. Nothing. Everyone but Matthias replied. Tino knelt in front of Peter and held his shoulders. Peter, listen, I'm sorry to say this, but as wrong as your Uncle Matthias and your Papa are for what they said about you, I didn't say it. There is some truth to it. We would like to have our own room in privacy, Peter. Well, you can have your own room and have as much playtime as you want without disturbing anyone. He then smiled gently. Besides, you have your own room at home, and don't complain about being in there alone, so it'll be just like staying home. Peter pouted, but Mama, you know how I hate being by myself when we travel. And he trailed off when he saw that Tito wasn't giving in. He sniffled and pleaded, well, can I at least stay with you guys for this night? Well, seeing as your papa and I aren't going to be doing anything tonight. Cock-blocked. Matthews quietly jeered at Burrell, who hissed back, shut up, now. As I was saying, yes, Peter, you can stay with us tonight. Peter nodded in resignation. You shouldn't. Okay, Mama, he whispered. Well, now that's settled, Matthews spoke up. How about we check out the next room, eh? He pointed towards the door and half-skipped, half-jogged to it. Follow me. Matthews took his suitcase in his hand and followed the other three nations to the door and went with them across the hall, pouting to himself that he didn't get what he completely wanted, which were to be able to play with Merle and Tino during their stay and to know what cock-blocking was. No, child, you are too young. Matthews placed a hand on the door and paused. Now, if I can remember the details of this room correctly, then I think that Peter just might like this one. He shrugged and opened the door. Peter pushed past the others at the mention of his name and entered the room with a deep gasp. He smiled with fascination as he slowly took in the ivory walls with ocean blue swirls and waves. On the ceiling was a mural of a pirate and his crew standing on the bow of a wooden ship, aiming a harpoon at a colossal and angry white whale amidst an ocean storm. Wow, is that from the tale of Moby Dick? Peter gasped. My big brother Arthur read it to me all the time. Matthew tilted his head and tapped his finger on his chin. I guess so. Peter pouted again. Don't tell me you never got to read such a great story. Oh, wow, the bed. He gawked at the bed excitedly. It was a full-sized bed covered by a black quilt with a skull and crossbones design on it. The mattress was boxed in by wooden boards, stacked vertically side by side. 2 pirate swords were nailed to the headboard and blades crossed like the bones behind the skull embroidery. Peter flopped backwards onto the bed and caused the neatly placed quilt and sheet to shift out of place. It looks like an actual pirate ship. Mama, Papa, never mind what I said. I'm going to stay here tonight. I'm glad you like it, Peter, Tino said with uncertainty. But is it really a fitting atmosphere for a child? Matthias followed Tino's gaze to the graphic mural and the swords and grins. Don't worry about it, Tino. There's more stuff on TV than in this mural, and the swords are made of plastic. Ah, Peter groaned. Sorry, little man, but I'm sure these lovely people would rather not spend their vacation time getting killed by a sword-wielding lunatic on a sugar high. Lucas felt a shiver course through his spine. Must be the last bit of the chills inside me, he concluded dismissively. He cleared his throat loudly and asked, So is my room the last stop? Aw, so impatient as my little Norge is known for. Matthias cooed as he tapped Lucas's nose with the tip of his finger. Okay, follow me. Stop doing that, Emil grumbled. As master of this household, I'm allowed to do whatever I want. Matthias stuck his tongue out at Emil, who in turn flipped him off. Matthias led the group to what he announced was Norge's super fantastical, extra magical bedroom. He pushed the door open with a flourish, making ooh-ah sounds as Lucas stepped into the room with an awestruck gaze. The walls were soft pastel blue with small cotton-like splotches all over it. The queen-size bed had a floral patterned quilt with a small wooden trunk at the end. In one corner was a potted bush of fresh yellow roses. I could make a comment about that, but I just want to get this done. On the ceiling was a mural of purple vines with royal blue and scarlet blossoms. Lucas padded across the soft white carpet to the bed and positioned the suitcase next to him as he lowered himself onto the edge, murmuring wow repeatedly as his eyes scanned the room. He felt so at peace in this room, so calm, as if he was in a dream and was flying high into the sky, floating among the clouds. He smiled softly as he lied back on his bed, sniffing the light scent of the yellow roses that filled the air. He moved his arms up and down at his side, feeling the quilt with the back of his hands. He closed his eyes. Egyptian cotton. Wow. It wasn't until Lucas felt something wet press against his mouth that he remained in the euphoria. When he opened his eyes, Lucas found his lips trapped in Matthew's mouth, being softly sucked on by the nation straddling his hips. He pushed against Matthias's chest until the larger man decided to stop teasing him and roll off of him. Sorry, I didn't know another way to wake you, Matthias panted. Wake me? Lucas repeated. Yeah, you were out for like 2 minutes. Matthias laughed so hard that tears would ring at the corner of his eyes. Lucas blushed and looked very sheepishly. He hated how Matthias would just jump at every opportunity to touch Lucas, and worse in front of the others. Confident mumbled. So you had these rooms specially designed for us, didn't you? Matthias grinned softly. Nothing but the best for my Norwegian kitten, Matthias purred as he placed a kiss on Lucas's neck. Denor, I'm not actually that big, but Denor shipper. Please don't attack me. Burrow and Tina averted their eyes, and Peter made a disgusted face. Yeah, if we're going to go into this whole maudlin romantic sickness, then I'm just gonna go back to listening to my songs, Emil said, inserting his earbuds and playing the music on the highest volume possible. It was me. Like, if there's gonna be one character that's pretty much me in this story, it's gonna be Emil. I hope I don't regret saying that. By nightfall, the Nordics finished the tour of the mansion and unpacked their suitcases. They were now sitting around the big glossy table and ready to enjoy the banquet Tino prepared for them. Harold's protest, who wanted his husband to start his vacation by relaxing, not busying himself in the kitchen. Tino served everyone wine except for Peter, who had a cup of sparkling grape juice, and Matthias, who poured himself a huge mug of beer. Lucas immediately replaced Emil's glass of wine with the grape juice when Emil wasn't looking, and they all lifted up their glasses when Matthias stood up to make a toast. Okay, that sounds like something my mom would do, to be honest. I'm not really good at this sort of thing, Matthias began scratching the back of his head sheepishly. So I'm going to try my best and make it short. He cleared his throat. I guess I just want to say that I'm glad you guys all decided to come see my awesome new mansion, and that you guys loved it. Which I knew you would, so it wasn't so much of a surprise to me. But I'm even more glad that you guys are going to stay here for a while. It feels kind of nice, you know, to have the gang back together. He trailed off and sat back down quickly, looking down at his beer to avoid everyone's gaze. When he looked back up, he grinned and said, Well, what's everyone so stiff and quiet for? Let's dig in before the stuff gets cold. The others looked at each other and shrugged, deciding to fill their empty bellies. The food was passed around the table. Everyone's plates nearly overflowed with the finished food, and the sounds of utensils scraping against glass rang in the silence. Ooh, hey, Matthias suddenly called out with stuffed cheeks. Matthias, swallow first, speak second, Lucas told him. Matthias nodded in compliance, swallowed, and continued. I've been watching the news from Alfred's country, and... Whoa, wait. Emil interjected. You watched the news from other countries? Well, damn, Emil, don't think too highly of my intelligence and attention span now, Matthias scoffed sarcastically. Yes, I see. I watched the news, and this one I saw was straight from America. Apparently some neo-Nazi terrorists shot up a Sikh worship temple in blind rage. Killed around 14 people, I think. Oh my goodness, that's horrible, Tina exclaimed. It's also old, Emil added, sipping his grape juice and grimacing at the lack of alcoholic tart in it. That happened last summer. Well, duh, I see. I already know that. I heard it from Al himself when he told me he couldn't come over. Wait, so you're going to invite Alfred here? Lucas asked. Yeah, I tried to. Matthias looked down at his food gloomily. But a lot of trouble and work at his country. That attack I mentioned, the re-election of President Obama, the failing economy, the news bills his Congress has been writing and debating over. The guy's been pretty busy, which got me wondering about you little nations. So, what's been going on over at your countries? If you were really watching international news, then you would have known how our countries are running, Emil mumbled. Oh, I have heard all about your little island and its problem, Emil, Matthias sneered. So, are you going all emo on us because you're starting to regret letting a feminist ruin your country? Emil paused, gripping his fork tighter. Then in a calm voice, straining to hide his anger, he said, First of all, Matthias, there's nothing wrong with the movement or its activists. They're helping to improve all the world just as any other movement, okay? Second, my prime minister is doing a fine job leading my country despite the European economic crash because crime rates have gone down in everything. Heck, my country was listed as the #1 place for I can never pronounce this word properly. That's how you say it. Egalitarian citizens, while yours was placed at what, fourth? Third? I'm not freaking email. Where the heck did that come from? And what is so funny? Matthias was chuckling behind his hand. He then replied, "Yo, you're funny. I mean, wow, Emil. Is it hard for you to wait a couple days until you start preaching on your soapbox?" He laughed louder as Emil's glare hardened. Matthias murmured warningly, "Don't forget about the volcanoes." I'm just poking fun at him, is all," Matthias said. "Jeez, Emil, you feminists have no sense of humor whatsoever." "I'm not a feminist. I could take my own political views. Or did you forget that as nations we can't make our own political stance because we're to follow our leaders' views?" Matthias waved away Emil's snide comment. Yeah, I know. I'm just curious, alright? I simply wanted to know what's been going on in my buddy's countries. Is that a cause for so much grief?" He gave Emil a wounded pout, quivering his lower lip to add on to the effect. Emil rolled his eyes and made an irritated grunt. He then decided that since it would be too idiotic to expect anything more mature than stupid jokes from the Dane, he was going to humor Matthias a bit and talk about his country's plans of lowering hotel rates to attract more tourists and get more revenue in. Peter chimed in with a suggestion that Emil build a pirate-themed amusement park and frowned when everyone chuckled at his suggestion. Soon the entire table buzzed with the conversation as guests shared their stories of national turmoil as well as prosperity, while with Lucas the only one silently contemplating how strange it was that Matthias took in this new interest in political, economical, and even ecological currents. "So much for getting away from the politics," Lucas said quietly to his glass of wine. Alright, that was everything. Okay, before I go, I'm going to show you guys something important. I've been working on creating my own sort of persona/mascot. I've always wanted to make my own persona/mascot, but I've never really known how to go about it. But now I have a pretty good idea of what I want to do, and I've been working on drawing sprites stuff. Since I still don't have my laptop, I'm just doing it traditionally, but hopefully in the next video I'll be able to debut this persona/mascot. So yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.